There are matches that live long in the memory, and then there are those that are etched in the soul of a region. This right here is the latter. Two giants of Southern African football collide at the u17 Stadium, where the air hums with anticipation and the crowd sways to the rhythm of possibility. Johannesburg, the city of gold, and the journey starts here to the Ivory Coast. The young Chipolopolo of Zambia, whose name carries the weight of copper's enduring strength, come into this match as the most lethal side of the tournament, scoring with flair and precision that has sent tremors through every defense they've faced. From the lush banks of Zambezi to the sprawling streets of Lusaka, a nation sits, awaits and expects. These young men carry not just a jersey, but the dreams of a football-crazed country that sees every match as a step towards the stars. The young Chipolopolo move with a blend of precision and ease. Their warm-up drills reflecting the confidence of a side that has made scoring seem effortless in this tournament. From Lusaka to Livingstone, these young men represent not just their generation, but a footballing philosophy rooted in resilience and raw talent. Their touches are sharp, their movements fluid, a quiet statement that they are ready to carry the weight of their next gen's expectations today. A good crowd out at the u17 Stadium. Technical Director Walter Steenbok, you see him right there at the top of your picture. And then the young Chipolopolo with their fans that follow them wherever they go. They sit right next to the Zimbabweans. They've just lost to Angola. And then there's South Africa's Amajimbos, whose journey speaks of rhythm and resilience. With their football born in the shadow of Table Mountain and nurtured in the beating heart of Johannesburg, they've brought a style that combines flair with steely determination. They've matched Zambia goal for goal, stride for stride, and today they step into the Canaldron with one singular aim: to reach for greatness and etch their names alongside their illustrious predecessors. Emil Witboy, the man who was at Chelsea undergoing an assessment, is back. He's been well marked, but he's been with a team that's well. He's scored against Botswana, and Amajimbos are of equally intense. Their drills crisp and purposeful. There's a rhythm to their preparation, a scintillated energy that mirrors the vibrancy of their homeland, from the rolling hills of KwaZulu-Natal to the bustling streets of Gauteng. These two teams know each other too well. Finals, semi-finals and group stage thrillers have been contested between them this year alone. Their rivalry has become a narrative of its own, a story that twists and turns with every whistle blown, every ball kicked. They've tasted glory in this competition 3 times, but there's room for sentiment this afternoon. Only one will march forward, chasing the elusive 4th crown and a chance to regain supremacy once more. But before we get to the real business of the day, let's get the formalities out the way and start with the national anthems, beginning with that of the young Chipolopolo, Zambia.
Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We want freedom's fight for one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, passion with and
As the nations take their places, this match becomes more than just football. It's a clash of pride, culture, and future. It's a tale of copper mines meeting golden sunsets, of bold strikes and fearless hearts. A stadium alive with color, a crowd roaring with unity and rivalry alike. This is the heartbeat of the COSAFA U17 Championship. So, this is how it looks team-wise then for Coach Akala Ian. He's gone with a strong team and big boys that are going to wrestle the South Africans physically. Mutale is in the midfield, occupied by Piri and Mutondo. The lethal Mapalo Simute will occupy on the wide back, on the wide channels, along with Malupande and Abel Nyerongo. Jonathan Kalimina, the only player to play last year. Brighton Chimene takes charge of the game, assisted by Mugeti, Benjamin Manku, and Lamek Piri. We do have the video assistant referee also in the vicinity to make sure that all the calls are right. So Vela Kumalo had made 7 changes in the game against Mauritius, and the boys are back. They welcome Kamuhelo Marilete, Selwyn, Jordan Stevens, as well as Vitboy, all who were rested in the game. The line is led by Butluku. Mlondo will operate in the midfield. So this is not just football. It's the culmination of dreams, the collective hopes of 2 proud nations distilled into 90 minutes. Each pass, each tackle, each strike will carry the weight of expectation. Today, these boys become men, stepping into a spotlight that does not forgive hesitation or fear. Many people thought that this would have been a final. This easily could have been the final game, match 21 of 21. Many, in fact, finals have been contested between these 2 teams, the young Chipolopolo and Amajimbos. And today, the UJ AW Muller Stadium becomes a canvas not only for the tie, but also of growth, of lessons, and of aspirations of 22 young players, but representing millions more. From Lusaka and Livingstone to Clapham High School, Johannesburg, Pretoria, South Africa. It's one of the most viewed games in the COSAFA region. The air crackles with tension, the stadium roars its approval, and now the wait is over. The time for talk has passed. It's time for action. Zambia, South Africa, let the battle commence. So Zambia, their technique so far throughout the competition has been a quick start. That's something that they've been well known for. Every single game that I've watched that I've called of Zambia, they get onto a quick start. The South Africans, very good technically. So this really is a prime picture for development football. The picture-perfect advert for under-17 COSAFA action. So the road to the Ivory Coast and the under-17 Cup of Nations becomes slimmer as Zambia and South Africa battle to meet Angola in the final. I'm Tandom Chako calling the action for you this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the game for a place at Africa's Mecca. Zambia went through Group B seamlessly, winning every single one of their games and scoring the most goals in the competition. They started the COSAFA qualifiers 8-0 against Namibia. And then they went on in a derby against Zimbabwe and won 5-1 Chisampama. They ended off their group campaign 1-0 as Vitboy turns up the notch. Sensational. Emil Vitboy comes through behind. South Africa score! Oh my goodness! It hasn't been 60 seconds of action. Sensational. Emil Vitboy to the beast. Simpiwe Mlondo. The School of Excellence is on their feet. What What a moment for Amajimbos. What a moment for South Africa. Wow, 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 wow. It didn't take us long to get going, did it? Simpiwe Mlondo. He spent his development at the School of Excellence. The School of Excellence is here watching. He now plays at Mamelodi Sundowns. He's beastly in his nature, is the young man. And South Africa lead at the UJ. It starts with Witboy. Sensational, sensational. Emil Witboy, Mlondo. Goal for Amajimbos. Goal for South Africa. Goal for the Gauteng Development League. Goal for COSAFA. Sensational Witboy to Mlondo. And then to the back of the net. And so the South Africans lead against the young Chipolopolo and almost replicate what Zambia do in every game, and that score early. And Londo's putting pressure once again on that defense. Foul in the midfield. On Londo. Plenty's development at the School of Excellence. They're watching on. They must be proud. Matebula, Mujalifa Matebula must be smiling ear to ear wherever he is watching this game. It's from one School of Excellence man to another. It goes from Witboy to Mlondo. So Lusaka now on their feet. Livingstone on their feet. Zambia need to respond, but they've got a set piece to the South Africans. And it's a well-blended South African team with players from all over. Selwyn Stevens, the former Cape Town Spurs man, now at Mamelodi Sundowns, to take the set piece. Joined Sundowns just this year, did Stevens. Pile driver by Selwyn. Not going to hit the target there. Will the young Stevens. Joined Mamelodi Sundowns this year and has been a regular goal scorer. He's in fact also won the Under-17 Gauteng Development League under the stewardship of Tiro van Rooyen. Emmanuel Mbuti for Zambia overruns it and wins a foul for the young Chipolopolo. So the Copper Bullets would be stunned by this. And it's Kunu. It just gets a touch there on Emmanuel Mbuti. Set piece now, Mwansa sends it to the far side where they've got Malupande. He's trying to work it now. Felix Piri goes for targets from range. And I chatted to the two respective coaches before the game. It was a matter of, we know that the Zambian players are well built and they've got the physical nature. So the South Africans were prepared for the physical battle that the Zambians were going to put at them. And then when you speak to the South African coach, when you speak to the Zambian coach, he knows the technical ability that the South African have. That they may not be the biggest players, but they're good on their feet. Bamnandi. Jonathan Kalimina sends one to the box and to the far post where the smooth criminal Shimute is. Cuts one back, and it's cleaned up at the back by Kayaletu Mzimela. Now Zianda Mtunu to run onto it. Simute scored lots of goals so far, has Simute for the Zambian side. In fact, he's got the number exactly, he's about 4. Up the field, they're looking for Mlondo once again. Witboy chases, Witboy keeps it alive for South Africa. Emil Witboy, Emil Witboy, Emil Witboy. Emil Witboy, sensational, Emil Witboy. Oh, this boy's good. Rumor has it that while he was at Chelsea, Manchester City started to fall in love with the boy and start to court him. So he's got a couple of European suitors. We'll have to see as to where he ends up. Speaking of European teams, South Africa at the moment, the young Mamelodi Sundowns team, the under-13s, are currently playing at the Mohammed International Academy Cup. They played against Manchester City yesterday and beat them 4-2. Team coached by Lunga Nobela. So the South Africans definitely making their mark on the development front and on the international stage too. Stevens fouled in the midfield by Malupande. Zambia themselves have a similar structure to South Africa in terms of their development football. While South Africa have one Gauteng development league, Zambia have got a development league almost in every single province and region. That's something that the South Africans are trying to emulate because they've only got one development league, and that's in Gauteng. As the sensational Emil Witbooi plays it to Mlondo. It's been a difficult man to deal with. Witbooi, I'm sure they'll be looking at him for player of the tournament. Last time in 2022 in the city of Lilongwe of Malawi, it was Siyabonga Mabena who won player of the tournament. He now applies his trade in Mamelodi Sundowns' first team. But Zambia also big development, huge development. That's gone from the regions to select the players that are playing here. Tough process to get selected in this, both these sets of teams, as Maraletse plays in Mlangeni. It's all South Africa at the moment, as Witbooi is fouled by Emmanuel Mbuti. Mbuti's going to have a tough job in defending Surprise Ralani's son. So young Witbooi. Last year he was playing in School of Excellence under 15 team. He's already had a call-up to the Cape Town City first team. Felix Piri is dispossessed by Mlondo. Now Neo Buhluku. 3 goals so far for the South Africans, does Buhluku, and Mlondo's brought down again. Mlondo had a brilliant season this year in the Gauteng Development Leagues in Pure Mlondo. After, it was round about this time last year when he made the move to Mamelodi Sundowns from the School of Excellence. He's fouled by Mike Matule of Makemi All Stars in Zambia. The very first of these type of tournaments were held right here in South Africa. 1994 was the first time. This is the difference so far at the moment. Witbooi to Mlondo. Poacher is Mlondo. Oh, Witbooi is so good. And Mlondo, he's a finisher, he's a predator. So South Africa have won a couple of tournaments. The very first one held was won by the hosts back in 1994. That team included the likes of Delron Buckley, Steve Likoela, and Wayne Roberts. All played in the side. In 2001, Dane Clayt would go on to play in this competition. So a couple of South African names that have played in the under-17 qualifiers and have gone on to have brilliant careers in the pro setup. As Maraletse picks it up. Now Buhluku, cleared by Mwansa. Zambians have not been themselves in the first 10 minutes. Mbuti dispossessed once again. They can't get beyond the South African halfway line, and Witbooi wants to play. Dangles himself between the ball. And then gives Vincent Mutonda a chance to pick it up. Witbooi then goes down. Emil Amoris Witbooi. Remember that name. Not just from a South African perspective, not just from a COSAFA perspective, but from a world perspective. This boy has the potential to go on and become one of the best players to play for South Africa. The son of Surprise Ralani. He was courted by Mamelodi Sundowns before he went to Cape Town City, but he preferred to go do his development that side, and that's a perfect side. The School of Excellence are in that left corner. That's them in the corner there. Lots of South African teams in the building. The Zimbabweans haven't left, and not too many pretty Zambian faces. They're not smiling yet. But boy is going to receive some attention on the side while the game goes on. Khatebe out of his goal and fouled by Vincent Modondo. Khatebe plays for SuperSport United. That way he undertakes his development. Lwandiso Khatebe. He just collides there with the force of Modondo. Khatebe also being earmarked as one of the best goalkeepers in the South African shores at the moment. When you speak to his coaching team at SuperSport United, they say that he's going to be the next Ronwen Williams. Well, the young Khatebe. Kaeletum Zimela also involved in that challenge. One of the players that plays at the British Football Academy, one of the offshore players. He's at St. Stithian's Boys, is Lwandiso Khatebe. They have a couple of goalkeepers to choose from. Luke Holden is on that bench, so is jersey 14. You see him in the picture now. Witbooi also. It's going to be a physical game. Something that the South Africans expected, that when you're going to play against the Zambians, you're going to leave something on you. It's the nature of football as a whole. It's a contact sport. He also went through to participate in some of the other youth tournaments. Did Khatebe recently? He was at the Ivory Coast with one of the national teams, traveled there with his dad in the South African contingent. Over the top, South Africa still play with 10 for the time being. Mlangeni, Mareletse to Mlangeni. Mlangeni is a player that burst onto the scene late in the year from Palacios in Soweto. Mwansa, Witbooi wins it back and then tries to play in Buhluku. Given away that by Mareletse to Abel Nyarongo. He has 4 goals so far, does Abel Nyarongo, and he's chasing that top goal scorer award with El Shaddai Sadomba of Zimbabwe on 5. Kaslam, Kaslako, Kasletu, Hamakasa Yafana Mareletse, Hamakasa Yafana Mareletse. Wondering what that nickname means? It means my township, your township, wherever you go, townships are the same. There's going to be lots of these knocks then in this type of game. Looks like he's walked the limp out as Witbooi. I wonder where he'll end up. It'll be so interesting because some people in the development space have said, does it make sense for Witbooi to go and play in an academy in Chelsea whereby you could play in the first team at Cape Town City, which is, that's a balancing exercise. The Zambians so far, they've scored a total of 14 goals, 8 against Namibia, 5 against Zimbabwe. Really ran rampant. They've been the top scorers in this year's competition. Felix Piri now takes that into his stride. Watched by Kayaletu. Nyarongo tries to hit it. It's still available in the box, and Mlangeni and co get it away for the South Africans. So the goal for these two teams is to qualify, of course, for the Cup of Nations. In last year's Under-17 Cup of Nations, these were the two representatives from the COSAFA perspective. Zambia are the defending champions of this competition. They were the last winners back in Malawi, city of Lilongwe. They beat South Africa 1-0 in the final. In that final in the city of Lilongwe. The goal scorer that day was a young man by the name of Calvin Piri, who scored 60 minutes into the game. It's taken us 60 seconds here today to get on with the scoring. They had a full haul of 9 points back in 2022. They then defeated Botswana in the semi-final 4-2. South Africa shocked Malawi with a 5-1 win. I think there's a penalty check happening here at the moment. Not sure of the incident that's being checked for a penalty. We have to have VAR. It's important to check those type of moments. But I'm not sure where and how and why they're looking for the penalty. Check goes on as referee Moiketsi Benjamin waits for the VAR room. It's important to get all these right calls and for the youngsters to be able to get familiar with how football works in the pro setup. There'll be lots of these nervous moments. It must have been during that attack when Mlangeni and them were defending and Nyarongo was almost going to hit the target. It's a lengthy check this, which must mean that there's something that they've identified. Didn't have video assistant referee in the group stages, but in typical COSAFA style, once we get to semi-finals, we've got to have video assistant referee. Now, oh my goodness, what's being said here? He's going to go look himself. That's when you know that there's something up. South Africans, Stevens has hands to head so as to say what's occurred, but the referee wants to have a look himself. It's the first time that a ref goes over to check the VAR screen himself. I wonder what he's checking for, and this is it. It's Mlangeni, like I said, Mlangeni on Nyarongo. Looks like there's contact there. Is it enough for a penalty? Yep, it's that one. Mlangeni on Nyarongo. If you decide at home, this one's too tight for me to call. That's why we've got the experts to check it out. It's slowed down. Let's see when the ball comes in. Is there sufficient enough contact? Looks like Mlangeni has something on Nyarongo's right foot there. There. Wow, it's the finest of calls that from the commentary box here. It could go either way. But it would be a soft penalty, I think, if Zambia are given an opportunity from 12 yards. But he gets something on him, and there's contact in the box, and sometimes when there's any bit of contact in the box, that's what some expert coaches will tell you. Any contact in the box is a penalty. But these are fine margins. The check has gone on for some time. Looks like he's satisfied now. Our referee, Brighton Chimene, and penalty, Zambia! The entire of Lusaka will be on their feet because they've been given a lifeline here, and they're going to have an opportunity from 12 yards. That's why we have video assistant referee, to get all those little calls right. And he's feeling how every single person in Lusaka is feeling. The vibration. So, from 12 yards, Abel Nyarongo, 4 goals so far. He faces Ndwandiso Khatebe. Well, they've said he's the next Ronwen Williams. Let's see if he can save a penalty in the biggest stage of his career, the biggest stage of Abel Nyarongo's career. Nyarongo with the long run-up. Sends Ratebe the wrong way, and Zambia score and equalize here against South Africa. Abel Nyarongo with goal number 5. And the tie is level once again. 2 goals in the space of 22 minutes. And Abel Nyarongo profits from the 12 yards. Zambia profits from the VAR. I was chatting with some of the administrators today from a South African perspective, and they say with VAR today, Ringa VAR. Well, that's the VAR, South Africa. That is the truth. And there's lots of animation from that crowd now. Lots of people not happy from a South African perspective, but now that's given Zambia some momentum now. Nkunu doesn't deal with that one sufficiently. A smooth criminal, Shimute. Nkunu now makes his body on the line, the men from KZN. How do the South Africans respond? Londo has gotten beyond Simute, has Vitboy on his left. South Africa have won Cup of Nations before here on home turf. In fact, every single time South Africa play at home, it seems that they may win. Back in 1994, I was telling you that team of Delron Buckley were successful. Take you back as well to the 2020 edition, also held in South Africa. Another foul as the South Africans screech and groan now. The referee has card in hand. Vincent Mutondo, the culprit and the guilty man, is the first player to go into the book then. Like I said in the beginning, it's going to be physicality versus technical ability. Ooh, wow, that's right on the heels of Londo 2. It's Mike Matute and it's Vincent Mutondo marking there. Rogers Simomba has played 2 full games so far for Zambia in goal. Oh, and I think they're going to check a red card here. I think he's going over to the VAR screen again because that looked like a bad challenge even from here. He wants to break him, Londo. Oh, no. Vincent Mutondo could be sent off. One moment, the Zambians profit from VAR. The next, it may just come to haunt them. Yeah, the South African said Zoringa VAR today. Only the truth that's being spoken on the field and with the officiating. That looks a tad bit dangerous and unnecessary for me. For the laws of the game, Vincent Mutondo should see red and should go off. Just by the laws of the game. Look at that. And when you look at that picture particularly, no, it's not safe to tackle like that, especially from behind. So the referee is just going to convince himself 100%. The VAR room also very much in action. Wow, but the game has been filled with drama. The neutrals definitely getting their money's worth here. Ooh. I'll let you decide. Decision seems to be made. Referee goes to his pocket once again. I think Vincent Mutondo's going to see red. Check complete. Yellow card. Let's see. Changed. And the referee is going to send Vincent Mutondo off. Drama in Johannesburg. Goodness me. Zambia down to 10. Vincent Mutondo with a dangerous challenge. The young man will take the lessons. Of course, tournaments like this are also to educate the boys. So for Mutondo, it will be a lesson well learned. He won't take any further part in the competition should his team progress. But I think a good call by the referee. He's got most of them right today. Brighton Chimene. Yellow, not red. And Mutondo understands. He agrees. So the young man that plays for Central City in Zambia, he's played lots of time, 101 minutes in total. Early shower. Cooling period, and I'm expecting some added time then towards the end of the first half, because we've had lots of these VAR checks that have been stop-starts type of football. Schwabe Walters, goalkeeper coach there, formerly of Randburg Football Club, gets words through to his South African team. And suddenly now perhaps they'll feel that they have the advantage, a man up, and they're playing at home. Selwyn Stevens in your picture there. Mlangeni, he'll feel a little bit better, the young man, to have conceded the penalty. So let's see what the copper bullet is made of. Down to 10. Not sure who those guys are supporting. There's a Zambian flag, but you can never really know. What a sight. Development football will always give you the numbers, and the numbers game doesn't lie. What a sight. What support for this under-17 championship. There's millions of more of you watching from home, whether you're in Lusaka, whether you're in Livingstone, whether you're in the Vaal, the Free State. I hope you're enjoying the watch. The boys have captivated us. It's 1-1 as we head to 30 minutes. Mokokosi, BK, Kunu, down the field to Mlondo. He does have Mkunu coming on his inside. Now Mkunu to the box. Corner for Amajimbos. Neo Butuku, 3 goals so far for Chiefs' marksman. He has received some regular under-23 football as Neo Butuku just doesn't get to that one. It's good defense by James Sabane. I want to see how Zambia sets up now, especially with the man missing in the midfield. One corner so far in terms of that count. Lots of photographers also here. Let's see what the South Africans have been working on set-piece wise. Short to Selwyn Stevens. Stevens overruns it. It's good marking at the end by Zambia's number 8, Malupande. Piri carries on moving in the mid. Kailetu Zimela does good work to cut it out. Now Jonathan Kalimina Kalimina, one of the few players to play in the tournament the last time, plays once again. That's why he's the captain. He brings all the experience. But here's the smooth criminal, Simute. Now head up and sees space there. And Zambia nearly get in again. It's Felix Phiri this time. It's good scanning of the pitch. Phiri gets the better of his South African marker there. Wow. This game could have easily been a final. In fact, a couple of these games have been finals. If you think back at the under-15 schools championships that took place at Walvis Bay, Namibia, it was this exact final, South Africa, Zambia. We look back at the recent under-20 ladies championship at UJ. This very final, Zambia, South Africa. I think the under-20 final also contested between these two countries. A couple of these then have ended in a 1-1 scoreline. If I think back to 2020, it ended 1-1 after regulation time. And then South Africa won 4-2 on penalties. There's also the possibility to go the whole distance. Copper belts, copper bullets. Looking for the bullet. But boy, he loads lots of bullets. Steve Mokokosi. Pama. Last time they played each other, these sides, in a final format here on South African ground. South Africa won 4-2 on penalties. But boy, so the Zambians won to win one on South African turf. They've never won here. But boy, plays it through. Now Mlondo. South Africans felt someone should have shot there. They felt Buhluku should have turned and shot. Instead, he passes one more to Mlondo. Oh, but boy, is a tricky customer on that left side. Pama. Mlangeni, the former Palacios Academy man once. He's from Soweto, Mlangeni. Mokokosi, the international. These two teams qualified for last year's Cup of Nations. Neither of them were able to make it out of the group. Remember, that campaign was really, at that Cup of Nations, is really when Vicky Makawana announced himself on the scene. A couple of Man of the Match awards out in Africa for Makawana. Yeah, but they both ended in the group. They weren't able to make it past. So remember, whoever wins this game qualifies for Ivory Coast 2025. Vet boy, Isani, Vet boy, yo, Vet boy, Buhluku, Stevens, Amakasa Yafana, Kaslam, Kaslako, Amakasa Yafana with his teammates, Stevens, and they can't quite get out there. Mareletse clips it over the top for Buhluku. Wow, I hope you're enjoying it wherever in the world you're watching this. This is youth football at its finest. The two best Southern African teams, blow for blow. Simote, step over to Mkhunu, says, show me your number. Mkhunu shows him the number 3, just kancane nje. Stevens with that Cape Town fish and chips flavor. That Kaapstad fish and chips. He's brought it to Mamelodi Sundowns as Stevens this season after a good campaign at Cape Town Spurs. Player down on that far side for Zambia. Amakasa Yafana can't play that. Referee's going to tend to the player that's down, and it's Felix Phiri. Oh, Stevens steps on him there. Stevens, lucky he's not going to be carded on the challenge there on Felix Piri. Felix Piri plays his development football out in a team called Lusaka Youth. And he's played almost all the game time here, 185 minutes. The legs start to hurt then also. Because remember, these are young kids. And sometimes in their respective development leagues, they don't play 90 minutes yet. In South Africa, you only play 90 minutes once you get to under 17. And it's like that also in Zambia. So at under 15 level, you play only 70 minutes. So sometimes the leg game starts to hurt, as we see Rene Lutsulunyane with Vela Kumalo on that bench. Oh no, I think they're telling him about the Stevens challenge here. You can't get away with anything when there's video assistant referee. Mokokosi wants to insist for the challenge to be taken, and Brighton Chimene says he's still speaking to his team. The VAR led today by Letitia Antonella Viana of Swaziland. He's assisted by Seonyatseng Jose Tepi of Botswana. I think they're just checking that Stevens challenge. Fokamuso Mokokosi, the youngster that did his development in Kaizer Chiefs right from his youth days, has represented South Africa at under 16, under 15 national levels, and they've subsequently nicknamed the international BK Mokokosi. Stevens will be the most worried man on the pitch at the moment. I don't think perhaps not a red card, but definitely perhaps a caution. It's a party on the stands. Wow. I was saying in the other game that someone needs to fly me to Lusaka, because it looks like they can party in Lusaka. Take me to Livingstone even, it's okay. As long as I find myself in the Zambian way. Oh, this is a lengthy check also. This in the other game with 9 minutes of added time between Angola and Zimbabwe. There wasn't many VAR checks then, but I think this one looks all good. Check completes. Drop ball for Amajimbos.
Come on, Mike, come on.
Zambia, where they say they've gone right in terms of their development football, they say they've made their development football younger, in the sense that the coaches are young coaches coaching a young team. That has something to be able to get your words through to young players. It can have a good impact. And they've got a good development league. The development league in Zambia is called the Elite Academy Development League, and it's got every single pro team that play in that development league. After that, they've also got various LFAs, various football leagues lower than that. But every single pro team in Zambia has a development team. In South Africa, it's about 5 or maybe 10 in the entire country. But in Gauteng, not all too many. So perhaps there can be some lessons taken there. But these Zambians boys, similar to many of the South Africans playing here, play regular competition week in, week out in their development structures. That's why I say that this gives us really a good gauge of where, firstly, development football in Southern Africa is and in the respective countries. As we see Maraletse. Here's a good story. Maraletse, he started at a club called, remember, Elite Sports Academy, and then went to Kaizer Chiefs, and then Mamelodi Sundowns development. Mlangeni just joined Kaizer Chiefs this year to his Kaizer Chiefs fellow player, Hunu. Vitboy still wants to dart and dazzle. Siviwe Palmer, or the Mokokosi, 2 Siviwe Palmer of Cape Town City. Tempo slightly dwindles then of the game as Mkhunu takes a slightly heavy touch and then recovers. You can definitely feel that Zambia have a player less. South Africans have gotten better of the Zambians at under 15 level just this year. Or under 15 COSAFA qualifiers. So South Africa and coach called Selekedi Mukhale win as we see But boy! So close. So close is the sensational image, But boy. Wow. I heard they loved him at Chelsea. He had some games that he played and that he went to go watch some Europa League, Conference League games. So he definitely had a spy too. I'm fun what the bit boy. Vila Kumalo and Lutsulunyane and co. Look at this chance once again. Spy 2's the goalie. Thinks it's headed goalwards. Two players over it. Bitboy and Stevens, and so he tries to work his wall, does Rogers Simumba of Shamuel FC. He's only conceded one goal, second now that he's conceded here against South Africans, the goalkeeper for Zambia. Two-man wall with Nyerongo and Mutale. Stevens! Oh, ho, ho. That was almost headed goalwards from Selwyn Stevens. Abel Nyerongo to begin the counter drive for Zambia. Numerically, they are disadvantaged, and so South Africa use the numbers to win that one back and play in Neo Buhluku. Well, no, that's Mlondo. Buhluku's down. Buhluku's still down. Londo was all by himself. Buhluku's felt some pain. Yeah, but the South Africans knew it. It was always going to be this type of game. Physical. Buhluku feels the after effect of that specific challenge. Geez, I thought this could have gone all the way from Stevens. It's good defending on the goal line by Mwansa. Oh, that's brilliant defending by Mwansa. Absolutely brilliant. Clears his lines. Goal line clearance from the men of Kasama United. But for now, it's Neo Daniel Buhluku. Yo, look at that. 12 additional minutes. Yeah, there were lots of VAR checks, and I think at this stage in the tournament, with games in, game was off, games in, games off, especially for some of these boys, they've been playing league action up until about a month ago now. The legs will start to hurt, especially with the added time. 12 minutes? Wow. Strap in. We're not done just yet. And I think they must be checking something here again. It looks like our official is in conversation. No. No conversation. Ratebe is naughty there. He's touched it out of his goal. Oh, goodness. Londi Sokhatebe is going to get carded here, and rightfully so. The SuperSport United goalkeeper. He's played 2 full games so far. And that's a big, big mistake by the boy that goes to school at St. Stithians College. Oh, clear as daylight there. Khatebe. Nyerongo, it's such clever play from Abel Nyerongo. He's a joint top goal scorer at the moment of the competition, along with Al-Sadai Sadomba of Zimbabwe. Now this smells and feels danger for Amajimbos. Played already in the Ivory Coast just 3 months ago as part of the under-16 talent development schemes held by FIFA. So Jonathan Kalimina over it. So is Shimute, so is Malupande. South Africans have committed quite a few players to the wall. There's Mlangeni, there's Mzimela, there's Mkhunu, there's Maraletse. Wow, this feels danger. You bet that Jonathan Kalimina, as the captain, is not thinking of anything else. He's thinking of his left foot nestling the back of the net. South Africa have definitely committed numbers to that wall. And the SuperSport United kid watches and looks, plans his wall. He's had some important decisions to make today, and he's got them largely right. Brighton Chimene of Zimbabwe has reffed some CAF games. He's a CAF referee, so he had to get all the big boys in the building because there's qualification for the Cup of Nations at stake. All the calls need to be spot on, which I think they have been. So Zambians just in conversation about how to go about this. We've seen some brilliant free kicks in the tournament. Valentine Macheka scored a lovely one for Zimbabwe. James Lumbe for Malawi scored an extraordinary one. And so did a youngster by the name of Tuto Ketsi from Botswana. I've had the privilege of commentating every single one of them. So the free kick count in the tournament, goals-wise, is 3. Zambia are yet to score a free kick. They did concede a free kick in their 5-1 victory against Zimbabwe. And I wonder what's causing the lengthy delay now, because the Zambian boys look like they're ready. That person sitting next to Vela Kumalo is Thabo Mnongeni. He used to play for Orlando Pirates, the Rasta-like figure on the bench for South Africa. I think they're checking something from what I'm hearing in my ears from the directors. And he's still waiting. Here's Brighton Chimene. I wonder perhaps to give Lwandiso red, but those challenges usually good for a yellow. He's been carded, he's been cautioned. So I wonder what the video assistant room is going through. They're checking for a possible red card, I'm told. Oh no. They're checking a red card for Lwandiso Khatebe. So we wait. Every South African waits in anticipation. It would be 10v10, and the numerical advantage would be down the drain. He's the most worried man right now on the pitch, the youngster. His dad supports him so much. I had a chat to his dad in the crowd earlier. And Schwabe Walters, he's also there. He was involved at Randburg, now at Mamelodi Sundowns. He's the goalkeeper coach, and he's the one that's going to need to comfort Khatebe. Should he get sent off? Wow. We've definitely if you order drama, we've got lots and lots and lots of it here at the UJAW Muller Stadium. A red card already given for Vincent Mutondo for a challenge on Londo. A penalty for Zambia from the VAR room. South Africans perhaps are going to regret why they said Siringi VAR, why they said only the truth today.
Maybe 20 minutes again.
Is he going to go check himself? I think he's going to go check himself once again. Oh no, the drama continues here. Brighton Chimene has been told by Letitia Viana that you need to go and have a look at this for yourself. And so for Schwabe Walters, the goalkeeper coach, he now needs to think of who he brings on. There's Holden potentially, and there is Lihlogonolo Mosia from Tuks. There's the VAR room, and there it is. Ooh. Handball or ball to hand? The Zambians in the crowd now are cheering, "We want a red card." The Zambians all over the world will be cheering, "We want a red card." It looks a bit like the Maradona hand of God. But this is not the hand of God. This is the hand of the devil. That's what Lwandiso Khatebe will be thinking. It's a handball, it's clear as that. That's why he was carded initially. There was a game locally where Mamelodi Sundowns were reduced to 10 men because of a similar challenge where Libusa ended up going into goal for Mamelodi Sundowns because of something just like that. Slow it down. It's a handball. So we wait. And from Amajimbos, they hold their breaths. From the young Chipolopolo, they also hold their breaths and hope that they get a little bit of revenge. South Africa have started warming up two of their goalkeepers already. Luke Holden of Mamelodi Sundowns and Lihlogonolo Mosia of the University of Pretoria are warming up in the meanwhile, while this check goes on. But from a South African perspective, if Khatebe goes off, it means they need to put someone else on and take someone off. It means they need to take someone off. That's the big thing now with a goalkeeper going down. So it's definitely going to change Vela Kumalo's planning. Header, and then Rongo tries the bicycle, and then Khatebe has his hands in the air. The hand. Hand of Khatebe. Isandla semfene. That's what the South Africans will be thinking. Isandla semfene. A monkey's hand. And if I had to tell you what that means from the South African perspective, it's not good. Isandla semfene doesn't have good connotations, yeah, but that's Isandla semfene. Wow. The crowd is getting anxious. I'm sure all the viewers, the million viewers around the world, are also getting anxious. I Isandla semfene street. When they speak of Isandla semfene in South Africa, they speak of some unknown forces that cause bad luck. That's what Isandla semfene means. So perhaps those unknown forces somewhere there, round about there. Looks like Brighton's satisfied. Oh goodness, I see him putting his hand in his pocket. I see his hand going to pocket. I think Khatebe is going to see red. Check complete. Khatebe steps closer to hear his fate. Referee calls him to hear his fate. Judgment time. Judgment day. So he says, I want to explain it to you. Come. Because we need to educate the boys also. Yellow card put aside. Lwandiso Khatebe is going to be sent off. The second player in this game to go off. The drama continues at the UJAW Muller Stadium. Wow! My, oh my, Lwandiso Khatebe ngesandla semfene sees red, and now Schwabe Walters needs to change. The entire South African technical team needs to change. And I see they're going to put on Lihlogonolo Mosia as opposed to Luke Holden. Mosia has played 45 minutes so far for the South Africans in goal. He came on in the game against Mauritius. The Tuks goalkeeper, the goalkeeper that's at the University of Pretoria. I've seen him countless times in the Gauteng Development League. He's capable. And it looks like South Africa are going to take off Mkhunu. Mkhunu's going to go off. That's his SuperSport United coach that's speaking to Radebe now. Oh, me. Wow. There's something that a South African Tobe Jane once said about football, and killing you a real death. Football will kill you a real death. This is superb. This is, wow. This is youth football at its finest. Mosia to come on to replace Mkhunu of Kaizer Chiefs. So the man that hails from KwaZulu-Natal, he'll know all by Isandla Semfene. Phumlani Mkhunu comes off, and the Tuks goalkeeper, Hlokonolo Mosia, gets his second appearance in the competition. He wouldn't have thought that he's going to play today. But for young kids, in development football, there's never omissions. There's only opportunities. So here's an opportunity for Mosia to announce himself to the world. So now Jonathan Kalimina. Wow, we're in for some bit of time. We only had 5 minutes of those 12 stoppages. So we're going to have some play before here. Skips over it. Jonathan Kalimina hits the South African wall. 10 versus 10 in the semi-final of the COSAFA Championship to qualify for the Cup of Nations. And there couldn't be more drama. There could not be more drama today here at the UJ A.W. Muller Stadium. I think of the stoppages, the 12, we've still got 7 minutes to play. So South Africa have taken one of their defenders off, which is also interesting. One of their wide back defenders. So Vela Kumalo is happy to defend with just 3 at the moment. Moko Kosi, Mzimela and Palmer. Vitboy. Nyarongo. Now Mute. Opening them up now are the Zambians. Stayed down as Zambian man, Kalimina, and the captain. At the end, it appears to have been a simple decision for the referee, but the deliberation tells you that there's lots and lots of talk that went on in the back. Nyarongo, the target, Shimute, all by himself, wants to play one more. Last gasp defending from South Africa. Mlondo picks his head up. Stevens. Ball threaded through that for Emil Vitboy. That was that opportunity. Simote, I thought he would have done something here. He's usually so smooth with it. Tries to play one more to Nyarongo. None of the games have ever been finished with 2 red cards. This is incredible. Vitboy. Another corner for Amajimbos. The head-to-head is quite evenly matched, this, between the sides. If you look at the performances historically, almost goes 1-1, 1-1. The last time that the teams played each other, 2022, was Zambia to win in the final in Malawi at the Bingu National Stadium by a goal to 0. Joseph Panda was a brilliant performer that year, as Vitboy comes to the box with it. I think about 3 minutes remaining here of the extra time. Langeni, Maraletse. South Africans just happy to hold the ball and go to the half-time break. Zambia have often done the business in the head-to-head when it's mattered. Both teams really misfire once we come to the Under-17 Cup of Nations. That one is directed right towards Mosia. Gets his first feel of the leather. Tuxman. So, wow. After almost 20 minutes of stoppages, referee Brighton Chimene blows the halftime whistle and sends us to the halftime break. And well, it's been drama-filled here in Auckland Park. South Africa scored within 60 seconds through Simpiwe Mlondo. Zambia equalized from the spot through Abel Nyirongo. And then 2 red cards following lengthy video assistant referee conversations. Vincent Mutondo out for Zambia. And from South Africa, the goalkeeper, Lwandiso Khatebe, with a mistake that's always going to give a red card, has brought us to this halftime juncture. So at the halftime points, it's 1 Zambia, 1 South Africa. Goal attempts on targets, 3 for the Zambians, 2 for the South Africans. The South Africans have slightly edged them in terms of the possession statistics, but it's all to play for in the second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. They ended off their group campaign 1-0 as Vitboy turns up the notch. Sensational. Emil Vitboy comes through behind. South Africa score! He's beastly in his nature, is the young man. And South Africa lead at the UJ. It starts with Vitboy. Sensational, sensational. Emil Vitboy, Mlondo. Goal for Amajimbos. Goal for South Africa. Goal for the Gauteng Development League. Goal for SAFA. Sensational Vitboy to Mlondo, and then to the back of the net against the young Chipolopolo. Felix Piri now takes that into his stride, watched by Kayaletu. Nyirongo tries to hit it. It's still available in the box, and oh my goodness, what's being said here? It's slowed down. Let's see when the ball comes in. Is there sufficient enough contact? Our referee, Brighton Chimene, and penalty, Zambia! Rongo with the long run-up. Sends Ratebe the wrong way, and Zambia profits from the VAR. I was chatting with some of the administrators today from a South African perspective, and they say, with VAR, today's your ringer, VAR. Well, that's the VAR, South Africa. That is the truth. Seleke, coach called Selekedi Mukhale win as we see Vitboy. Vitboy! Look at this chance once again. Spitu's the goalie. Thinks it's headed goalwards.
Yeah, I think
Wow, that's first half must have lasted almost 1 hour after all the stoppages that we saw. 1-1 in a dramatic, a drama-filled semi-final. This game was truly worthy of being a final showpiece. But the road to Ivory Coast thins and slims for Amachimbos and Zambia, and it's 45 minutes in the making. History in the making for both these two teams. Well, and the crowd has been captivated to the action. Lots of debates also happening online via the penalty call and the rules of the game. But it's all square now. It's an equal game. It's a warfare. It's a war out there, and everyone has the same amount of men. Robert Banda, sugar, comes on in replacement of Malubande. I was surprised not to see Banda start. It was a Joseph Banda a while ago for Zambia. That was a standout player. But it's 45 minutes. It's 45 minutes, and then it's decided. Especially who goes to the final, but most importantly, one of these teams that were at the 2023 Cup of Nations are not going to return. It's going to be Angola and either South Africa or Zambia. 45 minutes will tell. Strap in, folks. We're in for a good ride as Nyarongo takes it in. Nyarongo, flick by Banda. Oh, Zambia almost starts on a high note. Offside flag was up. And the sun has slowly moved from Johannesburg. It's a bit of overcast conditions now. Not as hot. Really good conditions for football, these. Banda, miles and miles offside there. Doesn't come back on, so the referees make a good decision. So how do the sides settle in? Only with 10 players each. It feels a little bit more fair now, if you may. Equal. Felix Piri, Mike Mutale sees Emmanuel Mbuti. Away by Pama, the way of Selwyn Stevens. Kalimina wants to run onto it once again. He's got some experience, does Kalimina. For the South Africans, they've also got a bit of an experienced side. Many of these boys have played in, if not under 17 national teams, under 15 national teams. That's why I said these sides almost match each other stride for stride. Many of these South African boys played in the under 15 talent development scheme, which is a FIFA initiative. A couple of years ago this was started, but the talent development scheme entails finding talent in every single part of the respective countries. When I chat to the Zambians, the idea is that under 15s that played must then graduate to under 17. And for the South Africans, it's quite simple. Vela Kumalo is more open to choosing players that have played before, but also new players, as we see through the introduction this year of Tebogo Mlangeni. Zambians, when they played against Zimbabwe, it was 1-1 for large parts of the game, until the final 15 minutes, where they scored 4 goals, ending Zimbabwe. But Zimbabwe, when ended up playing into a semi-final, their journey wouldn't end there. But the point is that longevity becomes an important point as the South Africans played quickly. Langeni, this boy was nowhere in January, February, March this year. He was at Palacios, playing in the streets of Soweto. Bushoku. Away by Mwansa. That's good evasion of the man by Mzimela. Players stay down, ref says plays on. This is Neo Bushoku. Cuts back for Witboy. It's still alive for Emil Witboy. Omakasa Yafana. Kaslami. Kaslako. Receives again. Daz Mareletse. Oh, I love his nickname, Kamu. Kam. Now, for Panda. Sugar. Panda's got that sugar and spice and everything nice. Sugar, 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 sugar. Sugar, Panda. Panda's been offside twice every time he's got the ball. Yeah, miles and miles and miles off there. Clear as daylight. Langeni. The idea with these tournaments is to eventually qualify for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Qatar. It's going to be taking place in Qatar for the next 5 years, from 2025 to 2029. That was announced just this year by FIFA. And on top of that, they've increased the amount of teams that can participate. 48 is the number now. So it means that from CAF, 8 teams can go through. So immediately, just by qualifying for Cup of Nations and being kept out of the quarterfinals, there's a ticket that sends you to the best footballing tournament youth-wise that there is. Kalimina with a slightly heavy touch, although James able to keep it in Zambian feet. Nicks off Matule's back there, and then back down for Mlangeni. Mlangeni, Tebza plays through Mlondo. Now Kalimina comes through to save the day. The captain, oh my captain. Fat boy, where are you going, son? And then he's fouled by Emmanuel Mbuti. It's been an interesting battle that between Emmanuel Mbuti and Fat boy, and then Fat boy says there, one moment you see me, the next you don't. Started his development at the School of Excellence, which many people don't know. He played under 13 and under 15 football at the School of Excellence, did Emil Witboy. That's where he learned all of that. The School of Excellence is still producing lots and lots of talented players in South Africa. This youngster just loves having the ball at his feet and doing that to defenders. Now there's a dark cloud now developing here over the UJ AW Stadium. I saw a lightning bulb far out. If there is lightning, the games are going to be stopped. Played maybe another time, which will only add to the drama of today. We'll have to see. I hope it just holds for 40 minutes so we can conclude. This is Neo Bushluku. One of the youngest goal scorers was Bushluku in the South African Under-23 Reserve League called the Diski Challenge. He's also scored the winning goal for Kaizer Chiefs in the Engine Champ of Champs. He's a player, Bushluku, that just needs one moment to come to life. Away by Mike Mutale, the way of Banda. Simute cuts it back inside and sees Felix Piri all by himself in the midfield. Now the Zambians are starting to gel. All tournaments on South African land have been won by a South African team. As Bushluku tries to get onto that one. More recently, it was in 2020, where young man Duduzi Shabalala broke onto the scene, claiming player of the tournament. And Zambia's 15-year-old Joseph Banda that I've been telling you about. He had a brilliant tournament there and starred also the year before as Nyirongo takes it on his bye. Nyirongo can't get into the box. It's going to fall here for Banda. Nyirongo's looking for that top goal scorer award. Now it's going to fall here for Piri, maybe favorably away by Sive Palmer. Man of Cape Town City. The last top goal scorer award was taken by Siyabonga Mabena of South Africa. It took him 9 goals to score that. I don't think we'll see 9 from the top goal scorer this year. We've got a joint top goal scorer tally with Sadomba and Nyarongo. They're on 5-5. It would be, perhaps they can score 9 in the final. I mean 4 in the final. It's never been done before, but geez, Mabena was so good in Lilongwe that year. He's now signed a pro contract with Sundowns. And still eligible also to play in development football. I think Mabena was writing his final exams now. So 2 names from a South African team that have played and have gone on to do well afterwards. Mention names like Delron Buckley to you also back in '94. Yeah, but the weather's definitely changed up here. Mike Putale tries to send the pass to Jonathan Kalimina. He's going to have to come some way back to retrieve the ball. And sends to Musia. Inadvertently so. I was telling you about the World Cup. It wasn't always called that. The Under-17 World Cup. Formerly it was called the FIFA World Youth Championships. Incepted in 1985. Double teams per the federation for the first time. Now I'm told it's going to work then once they get to Qatar, if these 2 teams make it all the way, that it's going to be 48, but they're going to be divided into mini tournaments of 12. Good ball, that's now Mlondo. 3 South African shirts up there, including Bitboy. Can't get it beyond the first marker. It's good defending that by James. James watches again, and then South Africa get a corner. Well, James Sabene, youngster, does really good work there defending. He slips up for one moment, and the South Africans are through. The man of Sporting Lusaka, capital city. Told also that the officials are watching the weather very closely. Corner here for Amajimbos. Wasteful by the South Africans. Mwansa to Mapalo Semote. Now Felix Piri. In terms of this championship so far, we've seen lots and lots of goals, 62 of them. Take this game into account, it takes our tally to 64 goals. Two teams didn't register this year for the championship. Madagascar and the Seychelles. 12 of 14 COSAFA teams converged upon Johannesburg a week or so ago now, last week Monday. Zambia making their 10th appearance in the competition. South Africa have appeared one more time, 11. They've got the joint most appearances at the competition, including Malawi. It was 1 year where Zambia ineligible. Kaizer Chiefs under 23 coach Vela Kumalo ponders. There's also a bit of thunder here at the A.W. Muller Stadium. I really hope the weather can hold. It's a superb watch, this, and I can only wonder what a delay will do, not only to the tournament, but not only to the game itself, but to the tournament as a whole. No, good touch that by Mlondo. Because it's interesting how they work in development football then if a game isn't completed. And I'm using the Gauteng development leagues as a standard. But in the Gauteng development leagues, if a game is not completed, it starts 0-0 as if nothing had occurred, not where the game had left off. So I'm not sure if COSAFA uses the same standards, but yeah, there's definitely some thunder here at the venue. Power. Two red cards, you see the confirmation of it there as the ball is played to Neo Daniel Bushoko. Now Maraletse. Kaslam passes it to Simote, who's gonna be one-on-one with Selwyn Stevens, and Stevens gets the better there and gets a brilliant ball. What a ball from Stevens to Vatboy! Save! What a save by the goalkeeper. It wouldn't have counted. Flag is up. Wow, this boy is a boy with the world at his feet. Geez, the referees have got all the calls right here today. Interestingly then, just with the chats of the weather, lots of the Gauteng youth games, development league games, weren't able to be completed because of heavy rain week in, week out. Prevented that league from finishing what's supposed to finish 3 weeks before it was actually finished because of weather. So these boys are, yeah, they've been involved in some of those games where you're playing a title decider, Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, and suddenly there's lightning. It's been a golden thing with South Africans and playing in the highest level of the competition. It's interesting. Slips one, does Stevens. Free kick South Africa. An hours of football. Hours where the football's been played. Set piece here, in dangerous position. Couple of players now want to take the Stevens now to take a good free kick. Bitboy naturally knows how to take a good free kick. Oh, Bushuku wanted a penalty there. So Stevens, Bushuku, there's a young man who's on the bench who knows how to score free kicks as if there's no tomorrow. He goes by the name of Royce Malachi. Imote Bizayo. If Royce Malachi was on the ball now, I'd put my head on the chopping block and say go. But let's see what Stevens and Bushuku can produce from the set piece perspective. Malachi's come on as a sub in all the games. He waits on for his time to shine. Bushuku. I mean, comes of it there from now Daniel Bushuku. So Angola, if you missed that game, successful by 2-0 up against Zimbabwe. They confirm themselves in a third final. Interestingly, every final that Angola have played in, they've won, including against these two teams, the young Chipolopolo and Amajimbos. They beat the young Chipolopolo to their first maiden title, or rather it was their second title, and they beat Amajimbos to their first title. So they wait in great confidence, the Palanquinas. Banda, Felix, cut out that by Power. Space from Londo to make a decision. 3 runners, Vetboy one of them. Ibweti's going to take him on. Maraletse can't thread the pass through. Abel Nyarongo gonna chart the counter attack from a Zambian perspective. Booty heads up. That ball is not the best from the young Crocs player. Has played 90 minutes so far. Booty in the competition, a full game against Eswatini here at the UJ AW Muller Stadium. South African ladies team knocked out as Piri is the target for that ball, and Musia puts his body on the line and shows that every single goalkeeper in South Africa is capable. Kalimina. Mute Maraletse now starts to play the football that they love him to play in these parts of the country, and then trips on his own 2 feet. The former, he spent his development at 3 clubs then, Maraletse. A team called, remember, Elite Sports Academy in the Val, up-and-coming academy, that's, watch out for them. Then he went to Kaizer Chiefs, where he really made a name for himself. And now he's at Mamelodi Sundowns, and he's already had a call-up to the first team, Maraletse. "25 minutes to go. And who wants this more? Is it the joy of Lusaka, or is it the bustling streets of Johannesburg? Is it the pride of Livingstone, or the passion of Eastern Cape? Smooth criminal, Mapalo Simute. Gives it away there, does Mzimela. Banda constructs a skyscraper here at the UJ AW Muller Stadium. He's misfired today, has Joseph Banda. Super fans, he's not sat down for 1 moment. There's lots of Zambians in the house watching this game. It's got the real feel of a Southern African derby. At the end, we've got to remember that these are just developing players. These are kids that are just only now learning the demands of COSAFA football. Ball through there for Nyarongo. It's clever, Nyarongo! Oh no, Banda scores! Zambia lead in South Africa against the Machimbos. It's beautiful play. It's Sugar. It's Sugar. It's Banda. Sugar. Banda with the sugar in the tea. Robert Banda sweetens the game for Zambia. Clever play by Nyarongo between the feet of Musia. Banda says thank you. And the boy has scored the most important goal here. Robert Banda, the man of Atletico Lusaka FC. His first goal of the competition. His first one is probably the most important one. And the Majimbos, with all the work to do now, suddenly the crowd is a tad bit more quiet, and all the noise coming from the congested pool of Zambian supporters. Wow. 2-1. The game is alive. The Majimbos need to respond. Zambia, the defending champions, on course for history. They won in the beautiful city of Lilongwe. Now they're doing it in the city of gold, Johannesburg, where they lost in 2020 to this very Amajimbos team. It's a different year, different youngsters, different opportunities for different folks. Mokokosi. Now the rain starts to come down. Now the rain starts to pour on the surface. Now the youngsters are getting a proper real feel of what it means to play African football. The only problem is the lightning. As long as the lightning stays away, a little rain never done anyone good. Anyone bad, rather. Sive Pama, the Cape Town City man. Twimil Witboy, his fellow teammate. Foul on Londo on that far left side of the pitch for Amajimbos. So it's a light drizzle this on the pitch. It's a booty there. So who's on this? Maraletse, the boy from the Val. They call that place 18 Emoyeni. Italian football, supposedly. Things run into the box, it's danger, it's followed up. Mzimela, the Cape man, stays on the ground. He wants something there. He's not coming up. Robert Panda starts the counter-attack on the other side. South Africans asking for VAR. The fans all in the crowd are making that gesture. You know what gesture I'm indicating. Is there anything on that? No, nothing on Mzimela. They're not going to get anything there, the South Africans. Apart from maybe some care for Khayaletu Mzimela. Well, it hasn't rained in Johannesburg for some time now, about 2 weeks. See, once again, I don't think there's anything there. I mean, James is trying to clear the ball. He doesn't really touch Mzimela. He's okay. Referee's got the ball. South Africans want him to go check the screen. South Africans want Brighton Chimene to go and check the VAR screen. I think he says water break instead. No, rather. Yep, it's just a water break, just a cooling break. He's not going to the VAR screen. Like I said, there was nothing really on that. So, the final cooling break of the penultimate stage of the Under-17 COSAFA Championship. Zambia with a foot in the door for 2025 Ivory Coast. Royce Malachi on that South African bench waits for his time to come on. Lots of players for potentially to be used by Vela Kumalo. Majola, 14-year-old Majola's on that bench. Makasha's on that bench. Ragunanan's on that bench. These are the moments then. First goal of the game. That's the penalty incident. Now it's come to good use, VAR. Nyirongo scores number 5. Oh, out of picture. There's almost a danger for Mosia. Time slowly ticks on here. Zambia have a foot in the door. When you speak to them, the goal is beyond AFCON. The goal is to qualify for the World Cup because their ladies team Zambian ladies have phenomenal development that side. They were playing in the girls under-17 World Cup just earlier this year. They played earlier today in a semi-final against Mozambique. So the men want to follow a similar trajectory as Felix Piri sends through Robert Panda, who is, well, Kalimina is way behind there. Musia's limping now for South Africa. He's at a knock there. He's not moving as comfortably, Musia. This was taken out by Mlondo. Wow. COSAFA and a 17 football in the rain as Nyarongo. Shimute wanted it there. He was all the way by himself. You see, he makes the gesture so as to say, pass the ball. See, there's Shimute. Nyarongo chooses to go for goal. Play it down the field for Simpiwe Mlondo. Cut back, now reinforcements come. He sees Kaslami. Now Bitboy. Zambian ball to the dismay of the South Africans. Zambia have played in the past 3 or so finals. In fact, yes, the past 3 finals have been involved. Winners in 2022, 2021, they lost to Angola in the final. 2-1 that year. And continued the hard take for the Zambians in 2020. They'd lost here on home turf to South Africa. Piri leads the charge, 10 versus 10. Shimute, Apollo Shimute sees Robert Panda. Bitboy with a good first touch. Heavy ball that for Mareletse. Now there's going to be some that game management from the Zambians. They know they've got this almost in the bag. The best team at the moment in the CAF region is Senegal. They won the recent Cup of Nations. But the 4 teams to represent Africa at the last World Cup was Mali, Burkina Faso, Morocco, and Senegal. At the tournament that was held in Algeria last year, 2023. Next year's tournament I see also has a bit of later dates. The one that's going to the Ivory Coast. Senegal want to defend their title. Played some decent games also at the Under-17 World Cup. I remember watching them against Argentina. The Moroccans have the benefit then of having a partnership with Spain, so sometimes their development players are players that also play out in Spain. That's where sometimes the more North African teams get the better of our Southern Africans. Next year is going to be the 20th edition of the Total Energies Under-17 Cup of Nations. I'm happy for the boys to have, for football and the Footballing Federation in Africa to have continental tournaments such as this. As Simute here creeps in behind Mosia. Takes a touch of his chest before it bounces for another Amajimbos player. Good touch by Maraletse, smooth. But boy, leaves that one. Doesn't go to feet. Koshoko, his face, just like most of the South Africans, tells a story of frustration. So, one of the youngest players then for South Africa, Ompemetse Sekgoto, replaces Selwyn Jordan Stevens. Listen to this now about Ompemetse Sekgoto. I've never seen a player to represent both under 15 and under 17 national teams in 1 year. Sekgoto did that in 2024. Chimwemwe scored a brilliant goal after coming on against Zimbabwe. He replaces the smooth criminal, Mapalo Simute. Kotami Chimwemwe. Chimwemwe scored, was a beauty of a goal. He's only played about 46 minutes of action, the man of Mponwe United. Oh, and I see a lightning bulb in the distance. Foul by the South Africans on Nyerongo. It's Mokokosi to foul Abel. So right now we are headed towards a repeat of the 2021 final. Angola and Zambia. That was played in Lesotho. Watch it over again, and he's lunging in. There is Mokokosi. Now, many of these boys have not had to play in such conditions before. Rain, with the stakes the highest. It really is development football, this. So 2 players over this. Mike Mutale and Jonathan Kalimina. The only Tuks player in the side for South Africa, Mosia. Kalimina has his eyes set on Ivory Coast and another final. Jonathan Kalimina, right into the breadbasket of Hlogonolo Mosia. So we've reached the last 9 minutes then, and well, a different half to the first half. So first half was very stop-start, lots of VAR decisions needed to be checked. This time we've had a largely smooth game of football. The ball has flowed. First touch for Ompemetse Sekgoto, the man who does his development in Mamelodi Sundowns. South African ladies team were knocked out in the group stages. After a 1-0 loss to Madagascar, they didn't make it to the next round. So Mzansi's hopes is all on the boys. Kaslami to the box. Simba with a very good save. So they're going to make almost a 4th successive final here for the Zambians. Robert Banda continues to put pressure on Zimela. Calm, cool and collected at the back. Banda comes to retrieve to win possession back for Zambia. Pama looks like he's in a bit of pain now at the moment. Groan on his face. Both these teams have not stepped out. They've been perfect in the tournament. two favorites, and they've treated us to one hell of a semi-final here. Could have easily been a final, this game. In fact, many were. I've mentioned it this year. Oh no, that's a big lightning bulb. 7 minutes to go. I wonder whether we'll be able to continue. But the weather conditions continue to intensify, and the referee sends the players to the tunnel. Yeah, there's some lightning here then, and the referee says, no, you've got to protect the safety of the players. The lightning is in close proximity, and so the game halted, at least for the time being. Wow, what a dramatic semi-final. It's had VAR, it's had 2 red cards, it's had 2 of the best Southern African teams, and the weather has finally decided to also come to the party. So we'll continue to monitor the situation, but I know that there's definitely an intention. With 7 minutes to go, there's an intention for the games to be completed today. For Zambia, they'll know that they're just a step closer. They shouldn't get cold in that change room. But the most important thing is the safety of the players. Yeah, everybody trying to find cover. Wow, I hope you've enjoyed the watches wherever in the world you've been. But for now, it's going to be a slight intermission. There's going to be a slight haltage of the play until we see until the weather rocks up. Some of the fans at home saying the South Africans are trying their magic. Some of the fans saying the South Africans are using magic. Yeah, no, it's magical, this tournament in South Africa. That's all I can say about it. But it's Zambia at the moment that have their foot in a final. They'll be monitoring the situation, I think every 10 minutes, to see where the lightning is. We're waiting to hear down from the floor what's being said. Some watching from Phuket in Thailand saying, come on, Zambia. It's not over yet. It's not over just yet. Lots of people saying Sangomas have sent the rain from a South African perspective. Well, like I said, it hasn't rained in Johannesburg for about 3 weeks. But here's the highlights then for you to enjoy in the meanwhile. 60 seconds in, Witbooi was already cooking. Himself and his former School of Excellence teammates Imphiwe Mlondo link up to score the first one for South Africa. But then the Jozi party ended there. Mlangeni with a touch on Nyerongo's back, called for the video assistant referee, and Nyerongo, when called upon, delivered for the Zambians. Someone needs to pay that guy overtime. And then this moment, Nyerongo once again involved in Robert Panda. His first goal of the tournament, and probably the one that's going to send the Zambians to Ivory Coast as things stand. But the players at the moment in the change room and waiting for confirmation as to when and if they'll be able to continue. For now, we'll keep you updated. Match paused due to lightning. Hello and a warm welcome back to the UJ AW Muller campus. Just an update then for you at home. The match was paused due to lightning, but the players have emerged from the dressing room. The conditions are slightly better, you can see it. There's a bit of a rainbow flying over the AW Muller Stadium here. So the game will go on, 10 minutes of a warm-up, and then the players will continue. I think, memory serves me right, the game was at about 83. I think there'll be some bit of added time, especially considering all these stoppages. So I would predict about 15 minutes worth of football still to be played here at the AW Muller Stadium. So the game will go on, and we'll still have a decider today as to who qualifies for the Total Energies Under-17 Cup of Nations. After some delay, some deliberation, many speaking about the rules and what they entail and what it would mean. There is still a little bit of a drizzle on the pitch, but drizzle won't keep the football away. Boys will warm up, and if you're just tuning in now, I've been waiting to tune in and have been patient enough. We thank you for your patience. It's Zambia leading by 2-1 here up against Amajimbos. They'll feel that heavy lightning, that rain has delayed their Ivory Coast dream, but not denied it, hopefully, for the Zambians. For South Africa, it'll be a matter of picking themselves up and immediately going guns blazing against the Zambians. Some people have predicted that perhaps Zambia will emerge from this lengthy break and sit back and just hold for the South Africans. But the game will continue. The game is set to continue. Many of the opinion that the Zambians are going to sit back and just hold. Okay. I'll see you guys back when the game resumes.
Move. Let's take it up now. Yes. It's let's come by. Last minute and then we die. Last minute, let's go. Let's take it up. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Good. Let's find a partner, let's swing it, okay? Find a partner, let's keep swinging. Find a partner, let's keep swinging. Big swing. Change. You don't want to do any finishing. I want to set up some small rondos and stuff. Change. There's the first square, there's the second square, there's the third square. Let's find the square, let's go. 4v2. Lives up. 1 2 3. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Go ahead. No.
Here we are then at the final penultimate stage of this year's competition. Change for South Africa. Royce Malachi comes on. Imoto Edizayo, the Rolls Royce, will enter into the back line in replacement of Sive Palmer, the man of Cape Town City. So the game's going to go ahead. We're going to decide the final Africa Cup of Nations spot after all. It's 2-1 at the moment. I think the time, once it comes up, should read about 84, but here he is, Royce Malachi, Indo Imote Bizayo. The Rolls-Royce is a Rolls-Royce of a footballer, is the young man. And he comes on and tries to impact late on here for the South Africans. So how will this work? These are young boys. There must be a lapse of concentration somewhat, somewhere. Hopefully they can keep their wits about them and the play goes on. Flicked on by Nyarongo. This has never happened before in the history of the COSAFA Championship. There we see the time now. 85 is when it'll start. So 5 minutes of regulated time. Boy, I think we've got some bit of stoppages to play. 2-1, Zambia lead against South Africa. The defending champions on the cusp of yet another glory campaign. This is Mwanza. Sends it to the box. There's a header by Malachi. This has never ever before has it gone this length, this way. Has there been a change in the script? Will there be a change in the script? Chimwemwe from far out. Tries to catch Mosia off. These are kids, like I said, concentration span. They need to concentrate now more than ever, the Zambians, and hold their slender lead and keep out youngsters like Bitboy. Now it's Moshoku! Saved is Newa Moshoku. The crowd has a huge, as Newa has that shot. The crowd hasn't gone anywhere. They've stayed to watch this spectacle and support Amajimbos largely. Maraletse, short, cut out by Mike Mutale. Robert Banda is the man to break South African hearts so far. It's him and Felix now. Mokokosi with a sliding tackle to win it back. Mlangeni is going to try to keep it in. What's the call? Goal kick for Amajimbos. This was the Bashuku shot. Opens up his body. Good save that by Sumumba. It's a bit slippery also, the ball. That's also giving another aspect for the young goalkeepers to deal with. The drizzle is still there, so that ball is going to be a tad bit slippery. Zimela leaves his marker for dead. Moshoku tries to turn. It's going to fizzle through to the goalkeeper once again. There won't be too much of a rush, the Zambians, to take any balls that fall for their goalkeeper. Wow. Well, this year has taken a different shape. Never before has lightning impacted a semi-final by the young Chipolopolo. If it ends just like this, Maraletse. Wow. Almost a really good through ball by Kaslami Kaslako through to Sekhoto. That was that moment. Gets beyond. Sekhoto delays to pull the trigger. Tries to cut back. Oh, he's a man, is a Mwansa. Savior Mwansa is a man. Puts his body on the line like a proper soldier for his nation. Nyarongo chases this one down. Mokokosi does sufficient work. It looks like it's only going to be 4 additional minutes of added time. Only 4 minutes. 240 seconds for the South Africans to keep their Ivory Coast dream alive. Foul throw. Mokokosi. Just the 4 minutes, not the 12 we had in the first half. Cut out that by Nyirongo, rather. Mute clips it up for Robert Banda. Keeps it alive, does Sugar. Chimwemwe wanted that. Mute comes to clean up. Banda trying to get into an onside position again. It kisses the top net. Piri opens up his body and wants to bury South Africa once and for all. Langeni gets himself fouled. The last time these sides met, it was just the one Zambian goal in the final in Bingu National in Malawi. Mute just possesses Mareletse. Sekhoto assists his fellow Sundowns men out. Now Mpemetse. He's only 14 years. He's a young player, Mpemetse. Mareletse. That type of delivery is not going to do the business for South Africa. Through for Simpiwe Mlondo. The belief starts to dwindle little by little for Ramachimbos. Chimwemwe threads it through here for Felix Piri. It's opening up for the young Chipolopolo. Piri, still on his feet is Piri. Mute is on the pie. Mute into Mosia's palm. Wants to release Sekhoto. He's good usually when he receives those on his bike. That one he just can't keep in the parameters of play though. And Zambia are going to make one more personnel change. Gift Piri. Wow, he's had a brilliant campaign as Gift Piri. Gabriel Piri, rather. 3 goals after 156 minutes of action. In fact, he came on against Namibia and scored a second half hat-trick where he'd just been on for 25 minutes. So from one Piri to another. Felix Piri makes way for Gabriel Piri. Young man that applies his trade at Napsa FC. South African ball, but we've entered the final minute here. We've entered the final 60 seconds. It seems that Zambia have all but their 3rd consecutive final confirmed. A repeat of the one against Lesotho. Well, against Angola and Lesotho, maybe. Buhluku has another one up his sleeve. Across the face of goal, it remains Amajimbo's ball. Desperation creeps in now from the young South Africans. Mareletse, ref checks his time. Done! It's all over! Relish it! Lusaka, soak it in! Kitwe, Livingstone, sink it up! Namibia are gonna play in another COSAFA Championship final. A repeat against Angola, and the defending champions go marching on and on and on, all the way to the Ivory Coast in 2025. The best team here by far in this tournament, and they leave South Africans shattered and heartbroken in the city of gold. They played, these South African boys, they live every ounce of themselves on there, for their country, for their families, for themselves, but it just wasn't enough. The golden generation of the young Chipolopolo move on, and they will play in a final with Angola. on Friday. The Chipolopolo dances, the copper bullet is firing. Zambia are dancing all the way to the Ivory Coast. Those fans have not been deterred by the rain just once. So, after lots, almost 2 hours, 3 hours later, we've confirmed it. Zambia 2, South Africa 1. And it was a tight game. The South Africans lead the possession statistic, but it just wouldn't do enough. Shots on target 6-5, but it's the young Chipolopolo that goes marching on to the golden promise of the Under-17 World Cup. And for now, it's AFCON 2025 confirmed for Zambia. They ended off their group campaign 1-0 as Witboy turns up the notch. Sensational. Emil Witboy comes through behind. South Africa score! He's beastly in his nature, is the young man. And South Africa lead at the UJ. It starts with Witboy. Sensational, sensational. Emil Witboy, Mlondo. Goal for Amajimbos. Goal for South Africa. Goal for the Gauteng Development League. Goal for SAFA. Sensational Witboy to Mlondo, and then to the back of the net against the young Chipolopolo. Felix Piri now takes that into his stride, watched by Kayaletu. Nyirongo tries to get it. It's still available in the box, and oh my goodness, what's being said here? It's slowed down. Let's see when the ball comes in. Is there sufficient enough contact? Our referee, Brighton Chimene, and penalty, Zambia! Rongo with the long run-up. Sends Ratebe the wrong way, and Zambia profits from the VAR. I was chatting with some of the administrators today from a South African perspective, and they say, with VAR, today's your ringer, VAR. Well, that's the VAR, South Africa. That is the truth. Ball through there for Nyirongo. It's clever, Nyirongo. Oh no, Banda scores! Sweetens the game for Zambia. Clever play by Nyirongo between the feet of Mosia. Banda says thank you. And the boy has scored the most important goal here. First goal of the competition. His first one. Done. It's all over. Relish it. Lusaka. Soak it in. Kitwe. Livingstone. Sink it up. Namibia are going to play in another COSAFA Championship final.